Okay, so we're going. You stole my thunder there. Okay, so we're going to do our drawing in preparation for next week's Excel topics. So we'll do the Excel drawings now. You can find these drawings in the distrib drive, distrib folder, type N for Nolasco, and then files, I think. Oh, 15298, files, and then Excel. Copy exercise number 1 into your D drive or your O drive. Okay. Once you copy that, you'll find there the PDF. Open that PDF and it will show you the requirement for next week's Excel topic. So you have your Excel assign 1 DWG. We're going to create new layers for the area that we're going to be defining at the ground floor level. So that's A01 underscore area. And at the second floor level, that's A02 area. Okay, so I have here the DWG for exercise in Excel. This is the ground floor, and we have a second floor. Okay, so we're going to create a layer. So I have here already A01 underscore area. Color is cyan, and we're going to make sure that this is not printable, not plottable. So click on this button right here, and then we'll create a new area or layer called A02 underscore area. It's also non-plottable and still has the color cyan. Okay. We're going to make area 01 the current layer by double clicking on it. And to define the areas, we simply need to create a boundary by using the Pline command. So PL is the shortcut. And let's say we want to define the boundary for the garage. We're just going to start off, let's say here at the door. Now you're going to define whether this area between the door, the thickness of the wall, does this belong to the garage because the costing will be maybe cheaper, or are you going to place here some nice finishing so much so that it belongs to the interior of the house? So right here I'm going to say maybe I'd like this to be the same finish as the hallway and the kitchen. So maybe I'll have some marble finish there. So that's why I'm going to start my P-line. P-line or polyline is a similar command as the line. The only difference is that the entities or each line segment acts as one entity. Okay, so I'm going to go over the garage, and most probably I'm going to go to the exterior. I'll have the same finish. So I'm going to go out the thickness of the wall, and to close a polyline, don't click at the end point or your starting point. Simply type C and then enter to close. And you'll notice that this now acts as one single entity. So that's the difference between a polyline and a line. Now, if you delete this, it will delete the whole segments or all the different segments. Now, there's a nice command called pedit. PE, if you click on the line, P line, you'll notice that it will say here open. That simply means that this particular polyline is closed. And sometimes you do need a closed polyline, especially when you're doing surfaces, when you're doing 3D, okay, or when you're simply doing areas. Since this is a closed polyline, I can type an area command, which we will do next week, area, and I can simply say click on objects or type O and click on this object right here, and I will get the area and the perimeter as well. So those are the values that I will need to do my calculation. But notice, since this is drawn in millimeters, you need to convert this into meters. Okay? So again, we're going to do that next week. If you click on F2, function key number 2, you'll get the result for the area and the perimeter, something that you can highlight and copy and paste in your Excel file. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that next time. So what I want you to do is define the different areas on the first floor by creating a closed polyline. So let's say here, I'll do another polyline, PL, starting here. Going around, and likewise I'll do the thickness of the wall as part of the hallway. And then for the laundry area, I'm just going to do this, maybe go around. Again, that will become part of the hallway area. And go here, go around. Okay, now, do I put marble or a nice finish underneath the counter? That's a decision that you need to make, especially when you're doing estimating. If you're tight on budget, most probably you will not. That will, save you a big amount of money against your budget. But if not, if budget is not the problem, then maybe it's a good idea to cover this with the same material, so that when you maybe do renovations in the future and move this counter maybe here, then you'll have that same material, right? So it's something that you need to decide. Otherwise, you can go around and click here, enter. Let's say we're tight on budget. We're going to not include this as part of the material finish for the flooring for the kitchen. So I'm going to start my PL command here. Okay, go around, and maybe I'll have the same material here. And maybe up to the thickness of the wall of the stairs. Now here, maybe I would like to change materials for the dining area. So I'm going to just go here. Now you can change the configuration of your area. You don't need to follow the same lines I'm doing when you're defining which one or which areas will be included or not. Okay. Here I'm just going to click to the starting point. I'm not going to say close, and the reason for that is because I actually need to add this to my polyline. So how do I do that? So I now have one polyline right here, and I have another here, and then these lines here I would like to add to my definition of my area. So how do I do that? So again, clicking on the Polyline edit command, I'm going to select my polyline, and then I'm going to join this polyline. So that will make this a continuous polyline, and likewise these polylines or lines right here. Now these lines are, I think, not a polyline, so let's see what will happen. So I'm going to add those, enter, and notice that it automatically closes the polyline. And I know that because now it's telling me if I want to open the polyline. Again, if you see open, that means that polyline is closed. Okay, so I don't want to open it, I want it closed. I'll just hit enter, and once you do that, notice that when I click this, it now becomes one continuous polyline that is closed.